Okay, if I go to my manage Jenkins, there is something called as configure system. Configure system. If I go here, these are configure system. Right here, it is related to Jenkins settings, all overall Jenkins settings, not related to like external plugins or something. Just Jenkins related options, right? Settings. So by default, it is showing the Jenkins home directory is this one. In Windows, it is user home slash dot m2. No, sorry, dot Jenkins. User home slash dot Jenkins is a user home directory in normal Windows. But if it is in Linux, Jenkins home directory is this one. So you remember this for interviews and real time if you want to refer. So var slash lib slash Jenkins. Now you write some message where you are this Jenkins or something like description or something. If you want to write, you can write it here. Next, this is about Maven. So where is your Maven local repository? Here it is. So if you want to change it to custom location, you can change it. You can change it. Okay, so this shows where your Jenkins Maven is there. Next, number of executors. See, inside the job we have seen that concurrent parallelly has to be executed or not. All right, parallelly inside the job, we have seen like how many jobs can execute, like either parallelly or only one by one it has to get executed. But on overall Jenkins, if I have 3-4 jobs, when all the jobs get triggered, I have like 5 jobs in my Jenkins, for example, 5 jobs. If all 5 jobs gets executed, just a second. Okay, if all jobs get executed, these jobs get executed, Jenkins itself can allow, right, 2 jobs parallelly to execute, only 2 jobs. Then the remaining 3, if there are 5 jobs, 2 will get executed on overall Jenkins. 2 will be in pending state, run execution state, 3 will be in pending state. One of the job from execution states gets completed, then which is in the pending state will come and sit in the execution state. Like that number at a time, your Jenkins has to build how many jobs that you can control here. So this is for master. If you have master slave configuration, node also will have this configurations. Yesterday we have seen, right? So under that label configuration, under node configurations, configure what option will be there, right? So where we are giving that SSH agent like that, right? So there one option will be there like executor. You can select now how many jobs can execute on node as well. For each node also you can select. This is for master. This label, I want to set label for master as well. Okay, you can set. I want to restrict one job to execute only on master always. Okay, for master also you can set a label and you can restrict that job to execute on this label. Like that also you can set. Same like slaves. Use this node as much as possible. Yes, I want to keep this node always available. I don't want to put a node level restriction. Okay, you can use that. Next, this is important, asked in interviews also. And this is also. First, let me explain this. I'll come back to this. Next, SCM checkout retry count. What does this mean is inside your jobs, means in any of Jenkins job, if you have used SCM like Git, right, we'll give GitHub repository branch credentials to connect to that GitHub repository, right? So in that case, for example, if the job gets triggered, first, what is the step? It has to connect to my Jenkins has to connect to the GitHub repository branch and pull the code or fetch the code. At that time, it failed due to some issue. At that time, due to some issue, it has failed. So what our Jenkins will do? Jenkins will throw error saying failed to connect to GitHub something, right? It will throw error. I don't want to throw error immediately when my Jenkins fails to connect to my SCM. I want to allow my Jenkins to retry one more time. You can keep this one here. So what it will do, in any of the Jenkins job, if you are using GitHub, and when the Jenkins is trying to connect to the GitHub repository and fetch or clone the code, if it fails, it will not throw error immediately. It will retry one more time. If you want to give a retry one more time, if you want to give, you can give it. Or else two means 2 times. First time it will go. If it is success, you will leave it. If the first time it is failed, it will try once again. Even if it tells fails once again, as I am giving 2, it will retry once again. So how many times it has to retry to connect, check out the code from SCM. Next, quiet period. If you have any doubts, you can click on this. Quiet period means if there is a new job, for example, there is one running job. Okay. Next, for the same job, if there is a, let me tell, if, for example, there is one job is executing, it is in execution state. If one more job gets triggered, right? What should be the quiet period between that? Means how long Jenkins should keep quiet? How many seconds, right? 5 seconds. So when this option is non-zero, newly triggered builds of this project will be added to the queue. But Jenkins will wait for a specified period of time before actually starting the build. Means if there are two jobs, 2 times the job got triggered, it will first time it will get executed. Once this first job is success, Jenkins will wait for, means it will take a pass there for 5 seconds and then triggers the second job just for relaxation, like just not to get into mess. It will wait for 5 seconds, quiet period. Okay. Okay, that is about that quiet period. So retry count and quiet period both are important. So if you want patience, you can read this entire thing. But it is it's SCM retry count. Means if a Jenkins checkout fails to fail to check out for or fetch or pull the changes from SCM, then it will retry these many number of times. It will wait. Means this quiet period is for waiting for each between each job builds. If there is a job building, after it's getting completed, either success or failure, to trigger the next job or the job which is in pending state, right? To execute them, Jenkins will be quiet for 5 seconds. Next, this restrict project naming means you want to put this SCM checkout, you don't want to put on all the jobs. You want to put only on specific jobs. Then you can use this pattern. You can use which jobs, that names, right? Dot star, like that. You can put different expressions using star, right? Role based strategy also you can use. Foods existing, something is that this is newly came. Okay, you can check this. Job restriction according to the role based settings. Okay. Okay. Global role allow create pattern. Okay, role based setting, but it is not showing the option here. Okay, maybe inside the job we can set it, I think. Okay, like this we can put the name restrictions, but we can leave it if it is there. But if you want to put only for specific project, you can enable this. We can restrict for that specific project. This is your Jenkins URL. It will change as per this IP address, right? I think it is taking private IP. Let me check. 54. No, what did I say? Jenkins URL. I think starting, not this is not private URL. Starting with 54 series. I think starting we have created a Jenkins, right? That URL has to. Okay. Next, admin URL means who is admin of this Jenkins. If there is any maintenance or something going with the Jenkins, means Jenkins team has to send a mail, so you can put it your email here. Next, same for tools I have explained, right? You want to create environmental variables, or you want to set the path for some tools, external tools like this and all, you can set it here. Next, one more important thing is this is timer. Like you are using once I have shown you, right? For any job console output, if you want to add a timer, means timestamp, right? At the starting, the timestamp will have some format, right? I want to change the format. It is like hours, minutes, seconds, right? I don't want that. I want to change this format to minutes, hours, seconds, something, right? There will be different formats. You can go take help of this and you can change the format here, right? Next, last one important thing is everything is, we no need to discuss everything. Whatever is required, we'll discuss those. Next, this one SMTP configuration means I want to send an email notification. See, you observe here, there are so many options here under this. I want to send an email notification. So far, we have not seen that. If a job fails, so far we are seeing success or failure. But when a job failure, I want to trigger one email to so and so person. For example, one job is related to, I have 5 projects. For each project, I have 4 jobs, right? 4 jobs. So for when any one of these 4 jobs fails, I want to send an email to that particular project team members and also to the DevOps team. So how to send an email notification? is, so you need to configure that email server. There will be, you cannot blindly send emails. You need to have one email server. So that email server configuration you have to do here, right? You have to send that email server host, right? IP, like who has to receive the emails by default, right? The email should be in a text format or some other HTML format, right? Who wants to receive that default recipient's reply, to whom they like this. I'll explain this. This is a separate topic. What is an email default subject? Either you need to have attachment or not. What is default body content, right? Like that and all. Before sending the email, do you want to execute any script? After sending email, do you want to send any script? And do you want to execute any script? Like this, you can enable that scripting. Or else this is, you see here, this is configurations, extended email notification, right? This is just email notification. This is little older one, but this is advanced one. Okay, I'll talk about this emails and all, how to send that. That is a separate topic. We'll discuss about that later. Okay, these are small settings available in Jenkins, but I'm not saying small means importance wise. I'm not saying those are very much important. Yes, easy concepts available in Jenkins, but too much important. You have to remember those. All right, the last scenario based. I want to execute only 2 jobs in Jenkins. How to do? Number of executor you restricted. I want to increase, change the restricted executors. Like that, the last few options you have to remember. Just go to my manage Jenkins and go here. Easily you'll be able to identify those. Easily you'll be able to identify this is map and path, number of executors, label, usage. We know this. Next quiet period for each job. How long Jenkins should be quiet. Next SCM retry count. Right. This is for environmental variables. This is for time setting. Next, this is for email thing. I'll discuss email part later. Okay. Next, I want to take Jenkins backup. Why I want to take Jenkins backup is, for example, I have some jobs. Maybe due to some issue, my Jenkins may restart or something. I'll lose, or else one person from our team only deleted few jobs. Unknowingly, that person deleted, but I want those. Like that and all, right? I want to take a backup for some security reason. For backup, everything, why we'll take security reason. Even if something goes wrong, we have a backup of previous things. We can take, we can refer that, right? I want to take backup of my Jenkins. How to take Jenkins backup is, you have to add one plugin, right? There are many plugins available. You can add one plugin. Let me show you that plugin. For example, let me add backup plugin. Search for backup. There is something called as backup. It is backup or restore your Hudson configuration files, right? Hudson configuration files. Okay. It is saying backups the most important global and job specific configuration. There is something periodic backup or restore your Jenkins configuration files, backup and interrupt job plugin, prepare Jenkins for restart, something it is showing, right? These three are similar. It is showing as similar like this, similar purpose, right? Okay, fine. Let me add this plugin. Just let me add this backup plugin. I'll show you. Okay. Now go to my manage Jenkins, not dashboard, manage Jenkins. Here you will be able to see this backup manager option. Once you add that plugin, here you will be able to see this backup manager option. Now, if you go here, setup, it is asking which directory you want to take backup. Which directory means Hudson root directory, means that is one of the backup plugin. It is going to take the backup of this entire var file, entire folder. Okay, var/lib/Jenkins, this entire root directory it is going to take. You want to take that. Where you want to take the backup? Some other location, right? Source destination location, give it. Which format you want to take, either zip or unzip, right? Tar file, sorry, zip or tar, sorry. Which file, where file, right? Which file format. So it is going to take the backup of this entire Jenkins folder, put it inside this directory in zip format. It will convert this as a zip format and then put it here. Why to take the, why we have to take it as a zip or where? Because if it, without compressing, if it will take a lot of time to take the copy. Once if it is compressed and takes it, it will be very easily, less memory, right? So file name template, like this, there are so many configurations, you can do it. Okay, it will take. Next, what else? See, in this, if you want to pick something, right? So we know, right? Under var/lib/Jenkins, there will be one directory called as workspace. There will be many folders, right? You can pick them what you want, right? Next, no shutdown. If you select, means without restarting your Jenkins, it will take the backup. This configuration file, I said, right, which is very important, right? Uh, what is the name? All the settings related to Jenkins, we can manually, if you want to do, we can do here, right? If you want to exclude something, I don't want few files or few jobs, you can write the excludes, the pattern, you know, right? A star like that will write that, we can write it. Let me show you one more plugin. It is going to take automatic backup. Next, let me tell you one more option here only. Thin backup or periodic backup is there, that also you can take. Okay, now we'll go to manage Jenkins. Now here, if I go, I'll be able to see this thin backup option. We go here, backup now, setting. Okay, setting. For the same backup, what you can do is, what you want to take backup, right? Right. Such settings, same like whatever we have seen, backup schedule for full backups, different backups, something like that, right? Here one option I want to show. Similar like that only, you can read it one by one. Specify the backup directory. The Hudson process need to write this to this directory, means this is a destination from where /list/Jenkins to this. If you want to create environmental variable and set it also here, this is destination location. One important I want to show here. Is this a correct plugin? Will files exclude from backup? Okay, this is same like that, whatever I have shown last time, right? Excludes this for the other plugin. Here one specialty is there. Here extra options are there. Backup user, new build number, plugins. Whatever you want to take backup, you can select here. Not this, I guess I'm mistaken or what. Let me go and add the other plugin also. Periodic backup, let me add. I thought that was there in that plugin also. Okay, if I go here, this periodic backup option came now. So let me click here to configure it. Now see here. Okay, you can take this plugin. Forget about that the other thin and backup plugins. You can take this periodic backup. You can tell it here, this root directory, right? And temporary means where you want to take the backup, that location, right? Where you want to take the backup, which location you want to take the backup, this destination. When you want to take the backups. When you want to take the backups, means every day at 12 o'clock, you know, cron expression we discussed, right? That cron expression, if you write here, means every day, like it is like alarm, whenever this time comes, like if you give at 12 p.m. daily or 12 a.m. daily, like 12 o'clock midnight, if you give that, right? Every day at 12 o'clock, it is going to take the backup. Every day at 12 o'clock, it will take the backup. Every hour, every minute, I want to take backup. Okay, you can write it, right? You can write the expression for every 5 minutes, how we have written for Polesium. So like this, it is going to take a backup, right? Okay, so this is a source location from for what it has to take the backup, and where the backup has to be taken, the destination, and when it has to take the backup based on cron schedule. Every day at 12 o'clock, I want to take my Jenkins backup. Okay, maximum backups in location means, see, I have explained two plugins, right? Backup plugin, thin plugin. Just there are common options. They'll take the backups by default, but here you can set when it has to take the backup. You can set it the time as well. Okay. Now, if it is taking backups, for example, I have configured this job, this option, right? Periodic backup manager, this plugin I have set up 10 days ago. So if I select, if I keep this for 1 year, will it keep the 1 year backups? Unnecessary, right? Why I need 1 year backup, everyday backup, right? With the date, for example, it is taking a backup with the date. So I'll have 365 backups, which is useless. How many backups I want to keep? You can set it here, 5 days backups. 5 means, so how many times it is going to take backups? For example, if I give daily backup, right? 12 o'clock in the midnight I'll give. So 5 days it will keep. If I give 5 minutes here, every 5 minutes I want to take backup. The previous 5 backups it will take. The older ones it will automatically delete. Only the latest 5 backups as per this option, whatever you have given here, right? Based on that, it is going to keep maximum these many backups. So if you have given 12 o'clock daily, right? 5 days backups it will keep. If I give 5 minutes, means 25 minutes, the previous 5 backups it will keep. The previous ones it will delete. Okay. Maximum how many number of backups you need? The older ones more than this, which are older, right? Those will be deleted automatically. So how many you need and how you have to take that, you have to define here, and where you have to take the backups, this one. And even if the backups are like, for example, I have given as 50 backups I want to take for every 5 minutes. For example, I'll write the cron for 5 minutes. 50 backups I want to take. But if I give here number of store no older than 5 days, means if the maximum it can take 50 backups, maximum it can take up to 50 backups. If there are few things which are older than 50, right? Those 51 which are the latest 50 it will store, the previous ones will be deleted automatically. But in that case also, if the jobs are older than, even in this 50, if there are few jobs which are older than 5 days, even those will be deleted. So maximum I need 5. For example, if I give it as 5, right? 1 day, every day, for example, every day I want to take backup, and maximum I'll keep 5. And if there are any jobs which are older than 5 days, those will be deleted automatically. So like this, you can write a description. So you want to take full backup or config? Okay, I want to take full backup. You select this, and you want to exclude anything here. You want to exclude anything here, means I don't want a few jobs. Okay, you can exclude. Or else you want to create any follow symbol is soft link. We have seen, right? Soft link is also called a symbolic link. If you want to create any soft link for those files from the here, yeah, you can do it. Right? I want to take full backup. Yes, take it. Next, you want to take only for as per that config file. Okay, you can take that, but normal will take full backup. Next, storage strategy. You want to store it as a zip file or a tar file. You can select that, right? Backup location. If you want to use something called as S3 bucket also. What is this? S3 you don't know, but local directory, if you want, you can select it, and the backup directory path you can give it. But here also we have given temporary directory. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I didn't target directory. For creating archives. Okay. This, what is this? I'll tell you. See, this is the location where the destination location. The source is this. So the source is this. The destination is going to be here, right? But what I did is I used one option called as zip files. I want to take the backup as a zip file. So what it will do, this is an original file. To convert this as a zip, it needs some temporary directory. So it will go to this temporary directory, whatever you have given here. There it will generate a zip file for this. From here, it will copy to this location. This temporary directory, just it will use to create a zip file or a tar file for this source directory. It will create a zip or tar in this location, and from there it will copy to this location. Okay, this is a destination location. Like this, if you enable, right, like this, if you enable, it is going to take backup of your Jenkins every time. So once if it goes wrong, anyways, you have this file, so just take it, unzip it, and replace your Jenkins with this the backup Jenkins. That's it. Everything you will get it here. So this is one of the important options. So you can tell anything what you use for backup Jenkins backups, either thin backup. You tell it is periodic backup, so it will be, you will get many options. You can answer like how you write that, how you take for 5 every day, for 5 days we'll take backup, 5 backups we'll take, and we'll keep it to maximum for 5 days. So 5 days backups you'll have. How you restore? Just take the Jenkins backup Jenkins zip folder, extract it, and replace it with your Jenkins. But before that, the original Jenkins also will take backup once and then replace with the backup Jenkins, right? So like that you can tell me. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir. How to replace the backup one?
Just now I said, right? Before asking this question only, I said about replace.
Means replace the backup file in the var/lib just Jenkins.
Yes, yeah, you have a zip folder and extract it, but extract it and replace var/lib Jenkins with this Jenkins folder. But before taking backup, take the backup of before replacing or restoring this backup, take a backup of that original Jenkins once. Because if this is not working or something goes wrong, if you want to get back your changes, original changes, that backup will help you. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's it. There are something called as views. Let me explain views. Then we'll go for other things. See, I have a dependency jobs, A job and B job. Okay. Like not only A job, B job, like this we have, right? I want to create my own views. I want to create my own view, right? I don't want this. I want to create my own view. See here in this, all is there, right? All jobs will be listed. I want to create a separate view for only my projects. These are my projects. Yatish is there, right? Only these are my projects. So I want to create a separate view for them. For example, as I said, right? There is one project, Flipkart. There is called as Amazon. Flipkart has 10 modules, right? Amazon has 10 modules. So each module again has 4 environments, right? 10 into 4, 40 jobs I have for Flipkart, 40 jobs I have for Amazon. 80 will be listed here. I want to separate, I want to list those jobs. I want a separate view for only those jobs. What you can do is you can create your own view by clicking this plus option. So this plus option is there, right? You can click on this plus. Next, you can name the view, my Yatish view, something like this. Yatish view, right? My jobs. If you select my jobs, what will happen is here, the person who has logged in, right? As an admin, I created few jobs. All the jobs I think I created admin. Like this, yesterday I created few users called as Yatish, right? Manasa. Now, when Manasa logins and creates few jobs, for those jobs, who is the owner? Manasa. As I log in with admin user, and I created this, whatever the jobs we are seeing here. Who is the owner of these jobs? See, if I go and click here, right? So who is the owner? Not only clicking, just we have seen, right, while creating or while triggering, it will show. Just remember, I only created, right? As admin, I logged in initially and I created all these jobs. If you select this, who is the person who logged in? This person, whatever the jobs created by that person will come into this view. I don't want those. I want to list one by one, right? You can go on, select this. Select this, you want to select. I want Yatish jobs. Only 2 jobs I'm selecting. Okay. Okay. See, I have all views where all jobs are listing, but in Yatish view, it will be showing only 2 jobs. Why? Because I selected those only. I want to create one more view. I want to create one more view for my view. There is something called as my view. If I select this my view, as an admin user, all the jobs, whatever I created, everything will come here. See, this view automatically displays all the jobs that the current user has an access to, right? Whatever the access I have, those will be listed, but I don't want those. I want to pick one by one, right? Oh, I want to pick this. These 4 jobs, right? Next, you want to put on some regular expression, like all the jobs which are starting with M and ending with B, something like that. If you want to put a regular expression also, you can use this. Okay, you can add filter different GitHub branch jobs only from particular branch you want to use. Like that also you can put filters. If you want to use a regular expression like star, right? Like that also you can put all the jobs which has the word called as first. Those jobs like this also you can put, right, or else you can select. If here we have very less, we can pick like this. But if there are thousands of jobs or hundreds of jobs, I want to put all the jobs which are having a word called as Flipkart. Okay, you can put like this. So all the jobs which has the word called as Flipkart will be picked, right? So with that I can create a view. Now inside the job, we know, right, we'll get this like this status, weather, names, this and all will get, right? So for my view, I want status like this, right? Whether I want name, I want last success, last failure, build duration, build button. I want here build. If you click on this, this is equal to build now. This is equal to build now. If you click on this, it will get triggered, right? So like that, I want to add one more column. Like this description or name or Git branch. What is a branch it is using? An extra parameter. Along with this, I want to use this job is for which branch. That also I want to write. Right, I selected this for my view. I want to delete something, right? I don't want this build now option. Okay, delete it and then click. These are the options available. Whatever you want, you can select those and delete those. Whatever you don't want. Now see this. It is showing. So this is a view. Everything it is showing. That build option is not showing for this particular view, right? For this my view, I did that settings, right? For all it is showing as it is, But while creating this my view, I selected that build option and selected which branch. So it is showing that branch. So if you want to add something else also, you can add it here. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
If you want to create
Right, sir.
your own view. Yes.
I have one question. This configuration which you have done in my view, will this get affected in my roles and this thing?
Why you are going for roles? This is just for display here.
Yeah, that is why I'm going for my roles is